After meeting with more than 30 SaaS founders in the last 60 days and working with high-ticket SaaS, making $500,000 every single month, in this video I'm going to show you what's the biggest mistake that SaaS founders are doing in the early stage of their business, and that's preventing them from hitting 50, 100K MRR with their SaaS. I see most beginners when trying to build a SaaS, their strategy in order to make it succeed, it's building a SaaS that serves everybody, it works for everything, and it's the lowest option in the market. And that's like playing a game that it's already really hard in extreme mode. And I'm going to tell you why this doesn't work. So most people I see, they try, especially beginners that have low experience, they try to build a low ticket SaaS. I'm going to explain you the difference between low ticket SaaS and high ticket SaaS. When you are building a low ticket SaaS that you are charging at least below $100 per month, like that's the biggest problem I'm seeing. High ticket SaaS, ideally you should be charging at least 200, but I've worked with companies charging 3K, 60K per year. You don't need to go that far, but ideally you would be around $500 per month. But when you are between 100, 150 or below, I've met with companies that are charging like $19 per month. Then the game becomes extremely hard, and it becomes extremely hard, especially if you're starting and you have no experience in the game and you have no funding. And I'm going to explain you how. I'm going to explain you why. When you're building a low-ticket SaaS, first, it sounds counterintuitive, but the first problem you're going to face when building a low-ticket SaaS is product development. Product development, it's way harder when you're building a low-ticket SaaS and when you're building a high-ticket SaaS. I'm going to explain you how. When you're building a low-ticket SaaS, you have more tools to integrate with because you will have to serve to more different purposes and more different industries. You will have more demanding features because you are trying to serve everyone and it works for everyone. You are going to be, there will be more different features and more different options that will be demanded by your users, and your resources are limited, especially if you're a beginner. So, how are you going to build all this and all this? And how are you going to build, how are you going to get feedback? If you are building more integrations and you're building more features because you're trying to please everyone, then you will need more volume to get relevant feedback for each feature and for each integration. So when you're building a low ticket SaaS, you are charging less money and product development is harder. Not only that, but finding message market fit, finding the message, the ad that will or the channel, well, the channel not, but the campaign that will attract you, that will message market fit, finding the campaign and the sales system that will land you clients consistently, it will take you longer. But because you have more features and you're solving more problems to more people in the market, it means you have a lot of different ways to persuade people. Your product is more complex, and it's going to be really hard to find what's the exact problem that will get you the most qualified leads and that will give you higher conversions. So what that means is that it's going to take you more time to find message market fit, what means that you're going to spend more money before being profitable. You're going to spend more money on ads or whatever campaign you need to start having a profitable business. Apart from that, when you are doing a low ticket SaaS, you need to do the onboarding. The onboarding, it has to be self-served, because if not, it's not scalable. So if you are only charging this, you cannot do the onboarding themselves. So you need to also develop and you need to develop your software up to a point that it's more user friendly and that it's really easy to set up. So this makes product development even harder than if you are doing a high ticket one. Okay, apart from that, persuading becomes harder because if you could tailor each time you talk to someone, to them, if you have a low ticket SaaS and every time you talk to X industry, you can have a specific message for them, and every time you talk to E industry, you can have a specific message for them, then you would convert the same. But when you are doing marketing, when you are doing email marketing, when you are doing a landing page, when you are posting content on social media, these are messages that will get to all your potential customers. And these messages are not going to be able to be tailored to their needs. They are not going to be able to be tailored to any industry. You are not going to be able to say specific softwares that they are using, specific alternatives that they are using, specific pain points or examples inside that industry. And therefore, this content and this copy and this marketing will have a hard time converting your potential clients. So persuasion, it will be harder. Finding message market fit, it will take you longer. And developing the product, it will be more expensive and it will take you longer. But that's not only the problems that you're going to have with a low ticket SaaS. Having success cases with a low ticket SaaS, it will be harder because your product tries to serve a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. So the success these persons are going to have, it will not have that much impact. It will have less impact. And not only it will have less impact. If I go to a coach, for example, I've helped a coach and I had success with a coach. But this SaaS that I'm building also helps e-commerce. For example, I have a website builder, and this website builder helps coach, and this website builder helps e-commerce. If I have a success case with a coach, it will not be that much relevant for this e-commerce. So the successes that you build, the success cases and the testimonials that you build with a low ticket SaaS have are less relevant for you than if you do it with a high ticket SaaS that you have niche down in a vertical way for a specific industry and a specific problem. And you have even more problems with low ticket SaaS. Competition, counterintuitively, competition in the low ticket space, it's higher. You're competing with more people that is trying to look for funding, that ideally they better have a lot of experience in the space if they are trying to go for funding and they are building a low ticket SaaS. But this low ticket SaaS is what everyone sees from the outside. Everyone sees Typeform, everyone sees Lovable, everyone sees these big companies that serve a lot of people and that have a lot of different use cases and that have a very small level of entry, like Calendly, for example. Everyone knows Calendly, but Calendly also has 15K per year solutions. Um, they don't only have low ticket options, but we all know these companies that serve to everyone. And therefore, from the outside, as a beginner, it's what you see when you try to generate ideas. And that's the big trap. Because as a beginner, building a low ticket SaaS is the last thing you want to do. Because all these negative points that I have outlined here, what does actually mean for you? It means three things. First, that you will need funding. You cannot scale a low ticket SaaS. Okay, maybe it's a micro SaaS that it's something really different, like a low ticket SaaS in a very niche place that doesn't have that much potential for growth. But if you build a general low-ticket SaaS, you're going to need funding exactly because what I explained here. Because developing the product takes longer, finding market fit takes longer, you will convert less, you will need more success cases in order to have relevant proof. The competition is higher, so it means that the speed is really important, and that's the other point. When you are building a low-ticket SaaS, speed is really important because you have a lot of competition. For example, if you are building an AI chatbot or like an AI that does appointment setting for you, or you're building a CRM powered with AI. There is a ton of competition in this type of solutions. You're going to need, if you are going general, you're going to need funding and you're going to need a lot of speed and you're going to have higher competition. So basically what it means for you is that the risk is higher. The risk of success for your business it's way higher when you're going in a low ticket SaaS, and you can go to any event of startups. A lot of people receiving a lot of money, especially money a lot of the times go to low ticket SaaS because they are more broad and they have a lot of potential for growth, but they are also the riskiest option. And I don't think that for individuals, and I don't think that for beginners in that space, it's the choice that makes. When you are building this type of SaaS, it's like you are trying to get lucky because the chances of success is like one between 1,000. Like you're going to try 1,000 times, and one time you're going to build a successful low ticket SaaS, and one between 1,000 times you're going to build a Typeform or a Lovable. But it's not the what I like. It's not you are not building a business to get lucky. That's not the approach I like to have. I want to build a business to make it impossible to fail. And here is where going high ticket SaaS comes into place. So the approach I actually recommend to people and that I like to teach and to implement inside my accelerator program because it's way less risk, it's easier to scale with less resources, you have less competition, you have less headaches developing the software, and it still has more than enough growth for potential. So this path, the one that I recommend is that you pick one problem, one niche, and one message. And picking one problem, a lot of people struggle here. Picking one niche, a lot of people struggle here. Picking one message, a lot of people struggle here. But basically, when you are trying to build a SaaS, first thing you need to do is finding message market fit. What's the message that is going to persuade my ideal client in order to buy from me? And the marketing king on that, it's WeTracked.io. These are the marketing kings in the space because they have a clear message. They tell you, okay, your problem, you they tell you you're losing money on you are losing money on ads, or your ROAS on ads is super small and it's decreasing and everything. You think you think that the problem is because of your creatives, or it's because of your targeting, your audiences, or whatever. But the real problem is that your um, that that ad platforms miss 60% of the data. That you're missing 60% of the data. The real problem is that you're optimizing for the wrong data because ad platforms are missing 60% of the data. Whatever, they have different ways to say it. Therefore, this is our solution. We fix that. We give you 100% of the data back, so you can track everything. You can optimize for the right leads, the leads that are bringing you money. This is the first thing you need to build with your business. And you're going to see that if you go broad and you go low ticket, this is impossible. If you actually try to build a SaaS with one problem for one niche, you're going to be able to define one message that persuades in a really easier way. Uh, Solving a problem with your software, developing the software to solve the problem, it will become easier. And building success cases and proof that then it will help you convert more, it will be way easier than if you are trying to solve a lot of problems for a lot of different people. Not only that, but well, for these reasons, this is going to take you less time and less resources to scale it to 50, 100K MRR. And then, once you have a profitable business, you can think about expanding. Now that you have more resources, you can think about expanding. Maybe you want to build a self-onboarding process and so that you can have low ticket options. Maybe you want to add more features so that you can solve more problems. Maybe you can solve the same problem for a different niche. And now that you have more resources, you can expand. But what you cannot try to do is to expand before you have resources and before you have experience in the space. In the last 60 days, I've met with at least 3 people that have that had that were asking me for advice in 4 different SaaS business, and none of them were making money. And it's like, man, this is hard enough. This game is already hard enough. You may have seen success stories of people making a lot of money with SaaS businesses in a very little amount of time, but these are just people that it's really good plus got lucky. You may be really good, but if you don't focus on one thing, you will need luck in order to make it happen. And for me, it's way smarter to go all in one thing so that despite not having luck, you eventually make it happen. So it makes no sense. These ideas that I've seen, I see it all the time with founders that I meet with, and that's why I wanted to create this video. This is my approach. This is how we help SaaS founders scale inside our accelerator program and with the resources inside our school community. So if you're interested, go check the description and talk soon.